on what you're looking for. I watch people get stuck and frozen, and that breaks my heart. I was once stuck and frozen too. Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
Thank you, Jesus. And we also have the amazing Murray.
Murray, what's up, brother?
Yo, what's
I don't
happening?
know how to pronounce your last name.
Bello.
Bulo.
No, just that's why they call me Murray.
And if you see Murray, by the way, before you drop into a little bit about yourself, Murray, if you happen to notice Murray get up and walk around the room with a fly swatter, it's because he's been invaded with bees.
That's my fun fact. Anyway, yeah, my fun fact is we're on week 2 of a yellow jacket nest in my office in the basement, and I just got killed one. I was doing a recording for LinkedIn, and one landed on my microphone, so now I have a blue and yellow and black Yeti. Get it?
Murray, have you been stung yet?
What's that? No, I have been stung twice in the last 2 weeks, yes, and it kind of is distracting. So I'm not a big fan. I like bees, but yellow jackets are not my type. So I just real quick, shout out to Jason. I am also an Army veteran. I was a Claymore veteran back when East and West Germany existed. I was 20 minutes from the Russian border, then known as East Germany. I had a 35-year corporate career as a controller in Fortune 500 semiconductors. I retired 2 years ago, and I came out of retirement because I'm so passionate about showing people how to eliminate debt in as little as 1/3 to 1/2 the time, without changing their finances or their budget or additional spending. And I love to work with realtors and financial professionals. So you can expect a LinkedIn connection request from me if you're on this call. I'm very pumped. This is a great group of people. Teresa and Joe are awesome. And of course, Sean is the maestro. So great to be here. Nice to meet everybody.
Thank you, Murray. Thank you for your service, buddy.
You too.
Yeah.
Murray, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Murray. And Murray has one of the other coolest fun facts ever. For the sake of time, we won't get there, but you want to talk to this man and learn his very cool fun fact related to like film and Notre Dame and other cool stuff. And he has many. So yeah, like what are we doing here? I'll quickly drop in. Hey, I'm Sean Callaghy. Yes, I am the co-founder of Unblinded. 23 years ago, I realized that influence is a superpower when I thought I got my dream job, and I realized that it wasn't. Coming out of law school, having gone to Columbia University as an undergrad, where I was on my way to playing professional baseball, 4-year starter, captain my senior year, and I have hereditary degenerative eye disease that took that from me, and I'm actually blind now. So my fun fact is I'm a blind guy. I taught a blind guy to surf in the past month. Also, thanks to Tony Robbins, jumped out of an airplane. I have the privilege of speaking on his stages 7 out of the last 8 events. I own a 125-person law firm with offices in 5 states as well. That's my side hustle. I say that lovingly and kiddingly because what we're looking to do with our ability to create leverage and influence heart-centered and authentically is to scale for more money and less time with more magic. And that's what's present. Final. I have created a 40-person law firm in 2 years out of law school. I created the most successful coaching and training company out of my coaching school. I have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 16 as one of only 2 attorneys in the country to do it. That entire time period, and created a business, this business during Unblinded, which is already a multi-million-dollar company, Unblinded, in the middle of COVID with no ability to do live events, which was unheard of and unprecedented. All of that has nothing to do with any level of intelligence that I possess. That's not true. It's not because I'm the smartest person. I'm not. I got B's at Columbia. It's not because I am, the most emotionally intelligent person in the history of the world. I am emotionally intelligent, but I'm sure there are far more. It's because I had a formula. In the same way people can learn to go from not running at all to running 7-minute miles, in the same way that people can learn how to be, go from where they are to being, an officer in the military, or perhaps even becoming a Navy SEAL. In the same way that people can learn to play golf or tennis or something they didn't know how to do before, influence, scaling, building, and growing is a learned and acquired skill set. It is a learned and acquired skill set. And its results are not linear, they are exponential. And Joe Hagan, TTP, are rock stars in the space of understanding these dynamics. Joe Hagan has trained people for years and years and years of doing it. Heart-centered, integrous, amazing human. Teresa is unbelievable. I couldn't be more thankful to be here today. Enough about that. Let's have fun and get to the gamified version of what we do. So Teresa, Joe, who's going to go first? Maybe after we select that person, then we'll give a little more optic on what they're doing. But who goes first?
Okay. Well, before we go real quick, Alexandra just hopped on.
Oh, awesome.
She's the one running late, so I just want to do a quick intro for her.
Yeah, please.
Alexandra is an entrepreneur. She owns a specialty bakery business called Cake Heads. So she makes all kinds of customized cake pops. And she also works in the space of import-export.
It's Alexandra.
Hey, how are you?
Alexandra, how about a fun fact, by the way? We are like Joe Hagan, Teresa, and I would be very grateful for as much cake as humanly possible. Because the other fun fact is at the Del Coronado Hotel yesterday, Hotel Del, which also happens to be haunted, allegedly. I ordered at breakfast yesterday. We ordered at breakfast yesterday more bread than anybody ever has. And they were literally told us that. Had more bread at our table than anybody in the history of the Hotel Del. So carbs are welcome here. So thank you.
All right, I'll keep that in mind. I know every now and then I bring Teresa a special little treat. The last one was a strawberry, I think it was strawberry flavored with some, what was it? A little shooter of alcohol in there too. So
Teresa looking to refresh her days of like being a KISS groupie and traveling across the country.
Oh my God, absolutely.
Yes. So, but I was there. How about a quick fun fact besides your shots and cake pops? Which is
well, aside from that, you know, I'm on a billiards team, so it's kind of like a hobby of mine. My is captain, so now during COVID, it's a little tough, but Tuesdays and Sundays, we just, we play out of different bars in Middlesex County. So
8-ball, 9-ball, straight pool.
Both 8-ball and 9-ball. So Sundays is a 9-ball team and Tuesdays is an 8-ball team.
Awesome.
One of the three things that I miss most, not three, top 5, is since I went blind, I am blind, is playing pool. I was a really good pool player and I played in tournaments and things. I miss it. I miss driving. I miss playing pool. I miss seeing my kids' faces. I miss seeing the eyeballs of fish underwater, scuba diving. But yeah, I miss playing pool a lot. So that is awesome. Thank you for bringing that fun and inspirational dynamic of the billiards table. I hope you go crush it.
Thanks.
Hey, Sean, can I ask you a question before we get started real quick?
Yeah.
Are you a landmark guy?
No, I have never taken the forum. I've never been landmark trained, but my first coaches I ever hired were $10,000 a month landmark trained coaches. But they trained on a whole bunch of things. There wasn't a landmark training, but they had extensive landmark background experience. And that was back in 2002 into 2003. Why do you ask?
No, I went through because it sounds like some of the things that you said kind of triggered. It sounds kind of like landmark, about the future and, because I went through the forum and I did the advanced course. So it's awesome. Great training. Yeah.
So listen, I believe enormously in landmark training. There are, meaningful things that are different in what we do here for sure. But I have great honor and respect for the landmark program. And I've had good friends that were in the advanced course and trainers. And Matt Johnston is a dear friend of mine. He's spoken on Tony Robbins' stage as well. We've co-created in different spaces together, and he is a highly trained landmark person as well.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So TTP, Joe, what's cooking and who's ready to roll?
So TTP, I believe 2 things. Number one, before we start, I'd like to just acknowledge Alexandra for her loss and offer our condolences. I don't know. I just know that you're coming from a wake or a funeral, and I just think it's awesome that you made the time, to honor your commitment. So I really appreciate that. But we're here to have some fun, and I'll think right now the color of money every time and I would like to play you in pool, and if I lose, I have to buy your cakes.
That sounds like a good idea.
Right. Have you ever seen The Color of Money? The movie or no?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Am I showing my age? Holy shit.
We have to watch it.
I know The Color of Money. I love that movie.
Listen, by the way, I met Steve Miserak's son at a car wash in Easton, PA. There's another fun fact.
And I do know this. Joe Hagan, that money won is twice as sweet as money earned. And if everything goes right today in the Real Raw, then everybody goes home in a limo. And those are both references to car money. So back to
That's right. So TTP, you drive, I'll be a guest.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I'm sorry, a judge.
Okay, cool.
I'll be something.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the room, take turns, role playing who your ideal client is, right? You have a 3-minute call with them to try to book a meeting. And you can role play with me, you can role play with Joe Hagan, either one. It's your choice. And we're gonna start with Kevin McFeeters.
Not fair. Not fair. Well, better to be first than last, I suppose.
Kevin, who would you like? Would you like to role play with Teresa or Joe? And who would you like them to be?
So you're asking me who I would like them to be as in my ideal prospect?
Yeah, like an avatar. Like, oh, it's an attorney seeking to buy a house. Like, what would be your avatar?
Okay. I'd say probably a home buyer because that's what I work with all day.
Cool.
Preferably a cash buyer who's demanding.
demanding cash buyer for new home. I think that would have to probably be Joe Hagan. That's what comes up for me, but it could be Teresa. So who would you want to do that with?
Let's go with Joe because Teresa will know the drill.
All right. So Joe, you're a demanding cash buyer, brother. And by the way, it's 3 minutes. And with 30 seconds to go, you hear 30 seconds to go, and then a stop.
I'm buying the house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're buying the house, and you have high expectations on Kevin's time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Kevin, take us in. Ring, Joe, just say ring, ring. I'll say ring, ring. Joe, pick up the phone. Ring, ring.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. How can I help you? This is Kevin.
Yeah, you called me. What's up?
Oh, sorry, wasn't clear on that part of it. So I hear
I got to be demanding.
So I hear you're looking for property in Bucks County. Is this a second home, first home? What can I help you with?
I don't know. Who are you?
My name's Kevin McFeeters. I'm a realtor with Callaway Henderson Sotheby's, and I work in Bucks County and Hunterdon County, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. We're kind of a resort area outside of New York and Philadelphia. So kind of centrally located. And we have a lot of people here who are artistic and creative and enjoy being in a more country setting.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that gives me some clarity. Thank you. So how'd you get my name?
I was given your name by Teresa Trigas-Pfefferle.
Aha. Now you have me at hello. You should have mentioned that up front. So tell me a little more about yourself. Like, how long have you been doing it?
So I started doing this in Boston in 1993 after buying my first house, and worked with a team of people there in Jamaica Plain, a part of Boston, and came down to New Jersey in 2002 with my husband, who was in pharma. So we relocated here, settled in a bit. I started my design business because I wanted to do something creative and do something different if I was going to build a business. And then I got back into real estate after a couple of years because the two go hand in hand. So my background is both design and real estate.
Okay. And, and not to be disrespectful, but, are you good at it? Do you have a track record? Do you have any testimonials?
I'm very good at it. And I am a high service individual. So my usual client is a referral client from someone that I know, because I prefer to work with people on a warm call kind of basis. I don't do cold calling generally. So not that I'm opposed to sales calls, but I don't solicit business in a cold call way, generally speaking.
Okay. Well, fair enough. I appreciate that. I got about a minute left, but there's a few things that I'm looking for. I don't know if you could find those criteria within that time frame. So how would I know more about finding the right home for me?
Well, I'd have to know a little bit more about what it is that you want, and then we can start narrowing down the search. So if you need to be nearer to a commuter rail or a transportation base to get into a city, or need to have, if you want to have more privacy, if you want to have more land, if you want to be in part of a development because you have kids who like to play with other kids. There's school systems. There's a lot of different things that might be questions I'd ask. But
yeah, well, I have a lot of kids, and I like my privacy. But I'm coming up with cash, so I don't want to have to pay the market rates, and I want to be able to, if my job takes me cross country again, whether that be 6 months or 6 years, I want to be able to, get the price I'm looking for and not get beat on the house, not lose any money.
Well, good luck with that, because right now it's a seller's market, and so even with cash, depending on the property, you could be in competition, and cash doesn't necessarily give you an advantage over others. So we would do our best to try that out. But, really my job is to advise you how the market's working and give you information so that you can make the best decision. But part of that decision may not involve getting a good deal on a property at the moment, just because of the situation we're in at this time.
5 seconds, final 5 seconds.
All right. So how do I find out about the best deals that you have available, or what's take it to the next step?
Knowing what you're looking for, I do a pretty extensive search in the areas that I think would be suitable for what you're looking for. Then we talk about it, and then I'd meet you and have you come and take a look.
All right. Kevin, excellent job. How'd that feel for you, sir?
Awkward for a moment, but not really so different than what I do sometimes every day. So,
Yeah. All right, illustrious Joe Hagan. Quick, if you had one word for how the connection felt, or one word for the impression from the encounter, like what's the first word that pops?
Confused, disconnected.
Okay, awesome. Let's go to the judges. So let's start with Gina. Gina, what'd you have for Kevin? 30 seconds of feedback. What worked? What was a growth opportunity, and a score?
All right. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Gina.
Nice to meet you. I think, you could have had a little bit of a questioning and getting to know Joe a little bit more. Definitely could have shared up front that you knew Teresa, that you got his number through Teresa, and that you did a good job sharing your clarity on what you do, and about the people like to, you live in the country and people are sort of artistic, you said. And so I thought that I would say that I give you about a 8.9.
Nice job. Thank you.
Out of 10.
Murray, what's up, sir? What do you got, Murray?
Okay. Hey, Kevin. You had the tough challenge of going first. So I take that into consideration. You kind of, and it's clear. The good thing is it's clear you know what you're doing. I would say that Joe kind of directed the questioning. I think you could have done a better job of finding more. I think what Gina just said, finding more about him, and kind of directed the conversation a little bit, and kind of focused on him a little bit more than you. I think would have been the recommendation from me. The final thing you said, good luck with that. I think you could have said that a little softer.
Yeah.
That kind of turned me off right away. Okay. I gotta be honest with you. I think I agree with you. That's the reality, but you have to frame it a little bit, a little bit more gentle. So I'm going to give you a 5 on that.
Yeah.
But I know you're going to do better the next one. Okay. There's 2 parts.
Yeah. Great job. And listen, thank you for your courage and vulnerability. Thank you guys. Because most of us never hear feedback on what's actually happening that's authentic and genuine. And this is what the Real Raw has been set up to do. So we can figure out those microscopic access points to create massive acceleration. And one of the points of genesis for this entire platform was when I would do mock trial things. So I had a jury verdict in Arizona that's the largest in the last decade. It still stands as such, in a business breakup case. In our first rounds of mock trials, we ended up at 1/10, where we ended later by going through rounds and rounds and rounds of processes of micro innovations that literally 10x the outcome, all in integrity and truth. So what we're doing is what are the micro distinctions that don't just create a little bit of improvement, but exponentially multiplied through your ecosystem merging, your speaking engagements, your sales meetings, your sales compounding in encounter after encounter over time. So Kevin, thank you for starting. I know that's not an easy position to be in. Appreciate you, sir. Okay, TTP, Joe, who's up next?
All right, we're gonna go with Jason Lavigny.
Okay.
All right, Jason, I'm hearing a lot of certainty here. A lot of skills are at display in influence mastery. So I'm psyched to hear this. And Jason, who would you like to role play with, and who's the avatar?
Okay, so let's do Teresa. And Teresa is a referral from one of my clients, and I'm trying to get Teresa to go to the American Dream Experience, which is a 2-day investment course. We do it virtual. It used to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I really want her to go. And it's I guess we'll role play, and I guess you'll see how I do it, right?
Yeah, Jason, awesome. And what's Teresa's herself? She's a real estate broker.
Yeah, I mean, she could be herself. That's fine.
Cool.
And she's a referral from her friend Jennifer.
Awesome. All right, take us in, sir.
Okay. Ready? Bring.
Hello.
Is this Teresa?
This is.
Hey, Teresa, how are you? This is Jason Lavenier, Blue Water Financial. I was referred to you by your friend Jennifer. How you doing today?
I'm good, Jason. How are you?
I am doing so good I can't stand it. I was calling today because I don't know if Jennifer had told you, but she just recently came through our awesome workshop. It's called the American Dream Experience, and it's a 2-day virtual workshop. And I really want you to be there because I think you will never see money in investing the same again. So would you come with me? Would you take this experience with me?
Wow. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I feel like I would need to understand more about what the event looks like.
Absolutely. So since it's going to start on the West Coast, it's actually going to start 12 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast, and it's going to run till about 6 p.m. So it's about 6 hours for 2 days. It's going to be on October 15th and 16th. And there are going to be, several breaks in between. But day one is going to delve into, we're going to, drill down, and we're going to give you the nuts and bolts of what a well-engineered portfolio looks like. Wall Street wants us to believe that investing is simply stocks, bonds, mutual funds, when in fact, that is actually totally false. And I'm going to show you how you can actually prudently invest based on market science. And then the second day is going to go into who you are, and in particular, your instincts, your perceptions, your emotions, and how you see the media, and how we are actually not programmed to be long-term prudent investors.
Okay. Wow. I mean, I guess it sounds interesting. Seems like a long time to commit to something, like a lot of hours.
Well, it is a long time, but think about it this way. How much time do you actually spend on your money? And I'm sure you've done many things probably in your career that probably took more than 2 days to complete. And I'm sure you put the time, in that, and you probably got a license or two, or you probably did something that took, like I said, more than, maybe 2 or 3 days or even a week. And you got through it, and you're probably a better person for it. So, but I promise you there'll be breaks in between. But my commitment to you is this, that you'll never, and I mean never, see your money and investing the same again. Will you do this with me, Teresa? I'd love to have you. And I'd love to have your husband too with you.
That sounds, I mean, like, that sounds interesting.
It's a family event. So there's going to be exercises that you and your husband can do together. And when I just did this with a couple of couples before, one of the comments that they made was they learned so many things about each other that they didn't know before. And it actually brought them together as a couple. So not only do you get to learn about money and investing, but you may come together as a couple as an ancillary benefit. How would that affect your relationship long term? Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So did you check your calendar? Can you be with me on October 15th and 16th for this awesome, engaging event?
Sure.
Awesome. Excellent. I'm going to send you an email, Teresa, with all the details. And if you have any questions, I'll be available. We'll give you the schedule. And if you have any follow-up, just simply give me a call, or you can send me an email. Thank you so much, Teresa. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jason.
Take care.
Jason, awesome job, brother. How'd that feel for you?
It's felt natural. I did because you know what, when we do this, it comes from the heart. You know, everything that we do and I say centers around families, and it comes from the heart. And when that happens, this is really easy.
Yeah. Well, you are very congruent.
Thank you so much,
and,
Teresa. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.
And
Thanks.
this is like the 230th Real Raw we've done. I'm just gonna pick a number because it's like off by like 3 or 4. So we'll call this 230, and I'll just start counting from 230. So this is the 230th Real Raw, and that was like your congruence is just super powerful. So let's check it out. So what do you have, Joe Hagan, sir, for Jason?
Yeah, so I thought that you started off the call great, great cadence, great rapport. I would like to see a little bit more rapport building, but went right into day 1 and day 2. And for me, I thought it was way too heavy on features and not enough on the benefits. Benefits had to come out later, and it was a contingency benefit. I can also throw in about the social proof of how it helps families together. For instance, when he went into talking about Teresa and her license, he said, I'm sure that made you a better person. No, the license gave her an opportunity to expand her career and had all kinds of immeasurable financial benefits that exponentially grew since you spent that time. And I feel that you'll get a similar experience by coming here. So let's do this. And then I would have thought the formation agreement. And if you're able to close people on going or create a formation agreement, I should say, on going away or going online for that long on a 3-minute call, God bless you. But I would think hitting all those benefits right after the features and creating that vision would be awesome. And then a follow-up, say, listen, I'll put all the information in front of you. And then you think about it and talk about it. If you're going to come, but if you're going to come with or without your husband, speak to him. And then I'll follow up with you. And then you kind of do a follow-up call to clear the questions out. But again, if you can get her to go based on a 3-minute call, that's freaking awesome. Overall, I'd still give it an 8.5.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Gina, what do you have, Gina?
Amazing, Joe. There's not much more I can add on to that. I agree with Joe, and I felt like Jason, I felt you could have said something to Teresa, like asking her more questions, something to the effect like, what if I showed you how you can, what if I told you can go to an event and come out, out the American dream and have your financial picture, all set. And I would have liked to have seen you ask her more questions instead of throwing all the info right at her. Mm-hmm. That's what I would have liked to see and to hear. But, I think obviously what you do, and thank you all for being, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing and doing this, because it's so great to learn what you could do differently. And like I said, for me, it would have been asking more questions, just understanding more what she needs and how you could have shown her the way, like a pain and yes strategy, like show her a little bit of where she would be if she doesn't do something like this and where she would be on the other end of the event.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm going to go with like an 8.5.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay, TTP, Joe, I'm going to drop in real quick with Jason on a quick role play. Sound good?
Perfect.
Sure. Yeah, awesome. So Jason, how about you let's make you John and I'll be you, Jason. Okay. And let's try a couple dynamics because there's a sequencing and a process of a couple of things that I want to play out, because your congruence, your energy, your certainty is off the charts. Emotional, energetic transference, phenomenal. So let's go this. So, hey John, thanks so much for taking the call. I know you only have about 3 minutes. Is it still a good time right now?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. So the energy of this feels and sounds like you think I'm about to make a sales presentation of some sort and pitch. But what I would really prefer to do in this couple of minutes is to make sure that we're a good fit for each other and potentially building a relationship. So would it be okay if I took these next 2.5 minutes and just used it in any way I see fit to serve you?
Of course.
Yeah,
sure.
Awesome. Okay. So I do know this. I know that you're a business owner. I know that you have a family. I know you have a wife, 2 children. Thanks so much for letting me understand that information. And I guess my question is, I know you work hard. I know you have an accounting firm, and I know that you know money. I know you know time. I know you know energy. And my real question is what's it all about though for you? I don't know you. So what's it all about for you? Why are you doing this? Clearly you're, seems like a great husband, love your children, but what's the mission? What's the purpose for you, John?
Well, my my mom, she passed away at an early age, and she spent a couple years in a nursing home. And I'm saving and investing, and I want to be able to help people who need that type of care. That's very important to me. So I love my family. I want to make sure that my kids get through college, and retirement is important to me. But I want to make sure that I have some money set aside that I can give to, nursing homes, and they took real good care of my mom. So I want to be able to, make sure that, I can leave some money or give some money, donate some money to those organizations.
So I understand that you're a person of impact and caring for things beyond yourself. And that's awesome, brother. And thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So how's that going? And how's that process going right now of building up wealth, of like where it's all going? What's working well about it?
Well, I mean, if you watch the media, it's you don't really know where to invest. Everything seems to happen in nanoseconds, and the investment strategy change. When the market goes up, they say stocks. When the market goes down, they say gold. So I would say it's going okay. But I don't know if it could be doing better. But I maybe it's doing okay. But I think it's going okay.
Cool. Hey, in our last minute, is it okay if I share a little bit about myself?
Yeah, of course.
So let me acknowledge the confusion, the overwhelm, even for people who are educated to understand money like you do. What my life's work stands for, I had the unique privilege of serving our country. And I did that because I love and care about things beyond myself. And one of the greatest challenges I think that confront Americans who predominantly don't live like you, John, but live paycheck to paycheck, is an understanding about money, which I think you do, but not just on an intellectual level, on an emotional, conditioned, and integrated level. And even folks like yourself who are super fiscally responsible, the question is first, how much more money can you accumulate now while living a beautiful life of fun, magic? Because the only investment guide you'll ever need, or The Millionaire Next Door, some of these books talk about this like Spartan life of not enjoying yourself. And that may be what you want or somebody wants, but I don't think it's what like brings the most magic for people. But how do you have that and still save, accumulate wealth, and then understand how small distinctions can be the difference between having X, 5X, or even 10X at your retirement when you begin to think about fee structures, making mistakes in investments, reacting emotionally to different dynamics, and the compounding of money over time. And that science and that art, because it's art and science, is what my life is all about. Because I don't think there's a way to be free in America unless you gain financial freedom. And we get have financial freedom long before we have the money, but we have the understanding, the wisdom, and the partnership. So we run a program called American Dream. We're out of time, and I don't have time to talk about it, but if you'd like to have a 15-minute conversation, we'll go into a little bit more detail, and you want to work with somebody who truly understands not only the truth about money, but the psychology and emotions around money, then I would love to talk more. How does that sound for you?
It sounds great. Sure, I'd love to.
All right, I'll pause. Jason, how did that, very candidly, how did that feel for you?
You just did a masterful job. It was just, you built rapport, and I wasn't threatened, in any way, by what you were saying. It flowed. It was just great. It was fantastic, Sean.
And did I accurately depict who you are and what you're about?
Yeah, absolutely. I should have focused more on, because we talk about this a lot, is purpose. What is your true purpose for money? Right. Which I didn't, obviously this is my first time on here.
Yeah.
And
by the way, can we quick time in, right? This whole process, you did amazing, right? This whole process is about unpacking and unlocking things. So who cares what happened? It's about, like, you're great. I think you did a phenomenal job, and so did the judges, right? But more importantly, it's reminding us of this micro distinction. What happens? We have 3 minutes to talk to somebody. It happens a lot.
Right.
And having to walk away and go, wow, like you already did wow for me in the first minute you spoke today. So it's like, how do we replicate wow in every encounter? That's all it's about. So you did an awesome job, and thank you for allowing me that space.
Thank you for the coaching. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. So listen, Joe, TTP, any thoughts on what I just shared? Anything you want to add, Joe, Teresa?
Yeah, I'd love to. Like, I wanted to drop in and say, like, earlier when he was full of, like, he knew his stuff, just like Kevin knew his stuff. He just had to start better and end better. But you could tell once he got rolling, he was competent. And it was really just about, and Jason's about building the rapport. And let's just assume you got the referral of TTP and you didn't know her. If you were able to find out her story and she would tell it to you by building rapport the way Sean just got out of you about your mom in a nursing home, if you were able to touch her heartstring on anything like that and open it up, it would have been probably, it would have been a layup to tie that into the vision of what you're doing with the American Dream. And she would have been much easier on board. And that's I think what Sean was able to do. Just that and you said it right there, the way he built rapport. Everybody's favorite subject is themselves. And if you give them the opportunity to tell them a little bit about themselves and then tie that into, your cause, the mission's a lot easier. Yeah. But you still did a great job. But Sean,
I was going to say, I thought Jason did a great job, but Sean's, the energy transference in the conversation with Sean and Jason, it was different. It was almost like Jason was pulled to Sean. Like I felt like pulled to him.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Versus feeling like I'm uncertain about what you're talking about and I'm still not fully comfortable. But the feeling was different.
Definitely.
Awesome. So listen, everybody, this is what it looks like. Teresa and Joe are going to continue and take this home. I have another engagement to be off to in the space of our beautiful unblinded ecosystem of world. Teresa and Joe, thank you. Everybody, what we're seeking is heart-centered, integrous connectivity. And if this is the end, right, of our last encounter ever, its influence is a superpower, and knowing what to do with it exponentially changes your money, your time, your magic, but hopefully it's just the beginning. Teresa and Joe, thank you. Back.